Welcome. This is Meet the Expert, and my name is Katy Caroan. I'm here today to interview one of my, I would say, inspirational role models, Per Frykman. Welcome, Per.
Thank you very much, Katy. It's an honor to be here.
Yeah, thank you. This is the premiere episode as well, and I'm really happy that you are the first guest. And the reason is that I've come to know you for the last 12 years or so, and you have played a significant role in my own professional life. And I'm not the only one, because you have served more than 1,200 plus professionals along the way in actually learning more about their own professional reputation, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And in addition to that, you also are the author of a number of books on the topics of recruitment, the topics of personal branding, and also the topic of professional reputation, which is what you have focused on lately. And I wouldn't be surprised if you did not have any more book plans for the future as well. So would you like to add something to my introduction to who you are, for those who don't know you yet?
Well, the thing is that I never label myself as an expert, but to have it in my reputation is a quite different matter. And I always say that that's the beauty of reputation, that I don't have to talk about myself as an expert or pioneer or whatever, but having it in my reputation makes me both proud and humble.
Yeah. And as you said, you don't like calling yourself an expert. However, many people I know really believe that you are one of the key experts in this topic. And the way I've come to know you as well is that you have, over the years, since we met first time back in July, actually 2010, you have stayed very consistent about some of your key insights that you're sharing with a broader audience, but also you have refined that message and the tools that you use. So to somebody who is not too familiar yet with the professional reputation as a topic, what would you say that consists out of? What are the key components or the key factors, so to speak?
Well, I mean, you can have brilliant career strategies or business plans, but it all comes down to one thing, and that is how you are perceived, your reputation. And I will say that you have to understand what it's built of, as you said, the key factors. And I would label three of them. And one is talking about experts, but the main thing is that it's not about your expertise, it's about how your expertise is perceived, which is quite a different matter, because one of my main experiences through the years is that you are far more experienced and far more brilliant, if you use that word, than you think. So the perceived level of your expertise is one of the three key factors. And your expertise can never stand alone. So the second key factor is your soft skills, as they were called previously. I try to call them your success factors, but let's call them your soft skills. And they are the skills that transform your expertise into successful action. And recently, there has been two reports from LinkedIn and Google stating that they account for 85% of the results. 85% of the results. And my experience is that still we don't have a clue what they look like, which is interesting. And what a challenge. And what an opportunity! So I saw in the US now I saw they labeled them the superpowers of business, and I would agree, because they are that important. And as I said, they are very blurry to people. So that's a huge challenge. And the third key factor, just to mention it, is that you always have something that could stand in your way. Some people call them weaknesses, but I never talk about that. I talk about your bugs. When you are doing something new, you are in a beta mode. And of course, there are bugs. They're quite natural. They should be there. And I will almost think that they are something that is a strength, actually. If you don't have any bugs, nothing happens.
Yeah, and these are the three factors that you mentioned here. They're all very intriguing in many ways. So as a coach, I meet people every week who are looking to maybe build their own business or transition into a new job or making a new career for themselves. And many of them struggle, to get a grip of what are my soft skills and how can I display them? How can I demonstrate them in a trustworthy way? So we're going to focus a little bit today on actually using LinkedIn as a tool, as a platform to enhance that ability and maybe becoming better at displaying this in a trustworthy way. So which advice would you give people who are looking to become a bit more visible in a trustworthy way by using LinkedIn to demonstrate these success factors that you mentioned?
But I think you have to understand one thing, and that is that your reputation creates the expectations of what you can accomplish and how you will do it. So it's all about the future. It's all about the expectations, what you can accomplish. And it's not about your history. It's not about just your experience. It's about what it brings for the future. And so I would say that the main thing would be to skip the algorithms and try to transform your LinkedIn profile from a CV site, as it is for many, to a reputation site, indicating what you can accomplish the next year or the next few years. And if you just understand that bit, then I think many of the LinkedIn profiles will change.
And this is very interesting in terms of setting expectations about where you are heading. You don't have the answers yourselves, but you give a direction and you invite people to join you for that journey. And by doing so, you can also step into new areas. Now, this brings me to a personal, I would say, reflection, because there's no secret behind the fact that you have actually analyzed my professional reputation 3 times over these 12 years. And that has played a significant role in my own professional development, and I benefited tremendously about it. And one thing that I learned from being part of that process with you was that it's really a great motivational exercise to do that. It's really helpful to see what's in the eyes of the person who is perceiving your skills and who might have expectations about what you can accomplish. But also, unless we are reminding ourselves that this is our potential and this is what we can accomplish and what we can do for others more in the future, we tend to gravitate back to what we always have done or what we used to do. And sometimes I've had that tendency to gravitating back to things I used to do until I look at my professional reputation again and remind myself, wow, yeah, that's exactly, that's where I'm supposed to go. That's what is kind of fueling my next big thing. So it's really powerful to actually break that pattern of gravitating back to the known, to the things that was in the past. What can you share about that? What do you see with other people whom you're working with? Do they have similar experiences like me, or do you see anything else with them?
And the thing is that people are always focusing on history, what they've done a couple of years back and so on. And I always tell them that you are not hired upon your history, you are hired upon the future. And that's one of the main things to understand, that you are hired upon the expectations that your reputation creates. You're not hired upon your history. and many people spend hours and hours and hours to refine their CVs or resumes, when they should focus on to show what they can accomplish in the future instead. And one thing that meant a lot to me was during my process when I stumbled upon this business of reputation. It was that I saw something that the marketing icon Seth Godin wrote, stating that your reputation has the same impact on your life or professional life as what you actually do. So the same impact on your life as what you actually do. And what other strategies could have the same meaning or the same importance? I can't find any other strategies that have the same impact as reputation. So understanding the power of reputation is something that people actually are missing. I remember that, when I was out giving seminars, I discovered that many people agreed with me how crucial their reputation was for their success. And sometimes I asked them, well, all of you who agree how important this is, what does your own reputation looks like? And they had no idea.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, that we have completely missed this opportunity. So I don't know if I answered the question or just keep talking, but that's one thing that's so crucial to understand how important this is.
Yeah.
And to get hold of all these three key factors that creates a reputation. Just imagine 85% of the results are those skills that transform your expertise into successful actions.
Yeah.
And we don't know about it. But when you get hold of your reputation, you get all the answers to these three key factors.
Okay, so if we stay tuned into LinkedIn as a platform for actually improving our understanding of our professional reputation and enhancing that and positioning that, what hints and tips would you provide to people? What has proven helpful to you in terms of, I would say, positioning your own reputation on LinkedIn? And how do you use LinkedIn in terms to attract opportunities for yourself, but also to set expectations about the future? What do you do, in detail that could be helpful for other people to learn about?
Well, I never put attention to fill in the complete list of my experiences. I just put in a few of my where I've been employed or running my companies. So that hasn't been that important to me. But also all the time I think about creating expectations of, as I said, what I can accomplish. And I try to put out content regularly. Sometimes I do it too much, perhaps, but I always try to get people to understand the importance of reputation. I always try to get people to understand what I could accomplish if they hire me, for example, as you said, an expert. I never talk about what I have accomplished in the future. I talk about what I can accomplish, or what I can accomplish in the future. I don't talk about my history.
Right.
I haven't put up my where I was educated. I'm actually a dentist, but I left that career many years ago. So why should it be on LinkedIn? I don't understand the reason why I should put it on LinkedIn, just to show that I have an education. So my advice is to put out content that show what you can accomplish.
Right. So basically, your focus is to present the present and set expectations for the future. You're not too much into, I would say, making an inventory of everything that you have done in your past. And this will be challenging to many people because lots of people are teaching us that we should optimize our profile and it should be complete and all that. But now we're turning into more not what your profile actually looks like, but more what you do, what type of behavior do you display on the platform. And you just shared that you are inspiring other people, that you're sharing content. From what I've seen, you're also engaging in discussions and adding, value to discussions wherever applicable. So I'm thinking in terms of thought leadership. You are a front runner in this space, and you share your expertise. You share your passion for this, and you ask questions and allow people to reflect about certain perspectives that they might not encounter in other ways. So could you give some examples of what could be some I would say interesting or effective ways of adding more future-oriented actions onto LinkedIn? What have you seen that other people do that you really like, that you maybe want to do more of yourself?
Well, I would say that when you know your success factors, your soft skills, then you have the opportunity to really stand out on LinkedIn, because, as I said, they are 85% of the results. And I remember Reid Hoffman, one of the founders of LinkedIn, he was a co-founder of LinkedIn, wrote in his book, The Startup of You, it was published, I think it was 7 or 8 years ago in the first edition. And he wrote about those soft skills, how crucial they are. But as he said, they are very, very hard to measure. And I have talked about, and I actually put it to action now, to email Reid Hoffman to say, well, Reid, I have the solution for you, how you can put out those soft skills. But the thing is that others see them much, much better than you see them yourself. You can't measure it yourself. You have to get support from others. You have to take it from, everyone is talking about the importance of self-awareness. But I would say you should change that word to other awareness, because others see your soft skills, your strengths, your success factors much, much better than you do yourself. So you should really try to get support from others, or, talking about my line of business, to hire an expert to do it for you, as you have done 3 times, actually.
Yes, exactly. And that brings me on to something that might be interesting to the people taking part of this interview, either live or in the aftermath of the live event. On a high level, what does a typical process look like if we decide to work with you? What would you share with the bigger audience on how this actually is done in practical terms?
In practical terms, okay, yes. Well, if I were, let's say I work with you, Katy, you would have to select 15 people, 10 to 15 people that have seen you in action. Clients, bosses, colleagues, whatever. And I would give you a text that you could send out to those 15 people. And in that text, you would find a link to 5 open descriptive questions that they answer quite anonymously. And all the answers come directly to me. You don't see them. And then when I get this, I get a huge mass of information about you that I try to analyze. I compress it into different, what do you call it? Some
Like a summary text for.
Summaries, yes, different summaries. And when I do that work, you get a new link to answer 3 questions yourself, which is really interesting to see how you think, what you think your reputation looks like. And I don't look at those answers until I have finished your report. Then I open what you think about yourself, and it's interesting to compare it because many people haven't got a clue about their reputation or their success factors.
Yeah.
And then I put together this report. It's about 8 or 9 pages. I call it the reputation resume. And I send it to you. And then you can look at it for 2 or 3 days. And then we have a discussion about the results.
Yeah.
And the main thing is that it's often, well, that could you describe a wow feeling when you get the results?
Yes, I can certainly sign on to that. And the reason why I'm so fond of this methodology as a coach as well is that it allows you to really trust the outcome because it's anonymous. It has been analyzed by you as a third party. There's no reason for me to question whatever comes up in that space. And then again, that's interesting in itself. But then when you compare that to my own perception of my own reputation and see, are there any gaps? Wow, that could be really, really interesting. And that creates that area of potential for me to grow, right, and develop further and to stretch. So there's so much value in learning more about this because, as you say, we often have no clue. And we need to find a way to trust whatever comes our way, because if we get direct feedback from a specific person and we know who said what, sometimes, very often, we might start questioning that. We might start looking for other reasons why they gave that type of feedback. So in this way, it becomes much more, I would say, trustworthy. It feels like I can trust the outcome to a larger extent, which is a major thing for not only me, but many other people that I know have done this work together with you.
Well, I would say that it's completely trustworthy because, as you said, I worked with 1,200 people in 8 different countries, and so far, no one has questioned the results. They often answer when they see the reporter and say that, oh, I recognize myself, but I would never, ever say this about myself.
Right.
And then they realize that they don't have to because it's what other people say about you. And something happens because it takes about 2 or 3 weeks before they really get it into their mind and body. And then something magical happens because suddenly they stand up and say, or realize how brilliant they are.
And they can trust that,
that's
right?
powerful. That's powerful.
Yes, it is. So I can absolutely confirm that. And having done it not only once, but 3 times, I think I'm a living proof of that. So to say. So I would like to say that these types of exercises with you have really helped me stretch myself as well. And we're not done yet. We're looking forward to the 4th version as well. So I will be excited to initiate that next year, I hope. Now, Pat, I know that some people must wonder where can I learn more about this? I know that you have not only books that you sell, but you also have a quick read, right? So could you just share high level what type of content could be found in your quick read?
Well, the quick read is about my experience after working with all those people and trying to, well, not convince, but trying to tell people how crucial this is and what an opportunity it is, because so many people are missing this opportunity. So this is about, I think it's 7 or 8 pages, just stating how crucial I think it is. And quoting back Seth Godin, because what he said about reputation is so powerful. that it has the same impact on your professional life as at what you actually do. I mean, can you think of anything more important than this?
Yeah. Now, I don't want to show the full quick read, but of course, this is just a teaser. And how do they get hold of the full version, Per?
Well, they can they can contact me on LinkedIn or from my website, or just email me at Per @reputationmastery.se. Then they can just, I will send it immediately. I always answer every email within hours, because I think emails are so important. So
Yeah, I can testify to that as well, because back in 2010, I watched you being interviewed by one of the business newspapers in Sweden, and I need to talk to that man. And I sent you a mail, and you responded back in 30 minutes. So you are a quick responder indeed. So thank you for that. And also, of course, as Per mentioned, you can reach out and find him on LinkedIn very easily, and then connect and get hold of more information via that channel. Now, I would like to thank you so much, Per, for attending today. It has been really interesting to look back and share, not only share, but listen in and tap into your journey in terms of how you work with these things and how many people you have supported and what they get out of it. And I would really encourage people to learn more about the professional reputation as a topic in general. Now, there's one question I'm going to ask everybody that I invite onto these calls in the future. So I didn't warn you about this one up front. So I hope you're ready for a challenge here. I am really fascinated and intrigued by, learning in general, but unlearning even more. So I'm a little bit curious now. Is there something in particular, Per, that you are unlearning for the time being?
Well, I'm always very interested in all the myths that we believe in, or I believed in. So I'm always trying to question myths that it could be anything from personal branding to one thing is that Seth Godin wrote about is that the myth that winners never quit and quitters never win, which is wrong, because winners quit all the time. They quit the right thing at the right time. And I'm always on the edge to question those myths that has run, people are talking about, and that I have believed in, that I try to get rid of and try to unlearn, as you say, it is a brilliant term.
So I think that is a great opportunity to remind people to stay alert, not only for learning, but also unlearning. And I'm really, looking forward to your next book, to the next analysis of my own professional reputation. And I would just like to encourage people to learn more about that and get in touch with you, Per. So thank you so much for being here today. And good luck with your both unlearning and learning.
Thank you, Katy.
Okay, then. Have a good night, everyone. Take care. See you next time.